Good morning. I'm going to take a few minutes to review the grammar study guide. The study guide looks just like the quiz that we will take in class tomorrow, Thursday, October 7th. On the quiz, there will be 6 different kinds of sentences. Number 1, you need to decide if they're declarative, interrogative, imperative, or exclamatory. We talked in class that a declarative sentence makes a statement. An interrogative sentence asks a question. An imperative sentence gives a command. And an exclamatory sentence is exciting. We also talked about looking at the punctuation marks to help us decide. Exclamatory sentences end in an exclamation point. Commands or imperative sentences usually end in a period, but sometimes they can end in an exclamation point. For an example, if it says, run, or get outside. I'll have to check it in just a minute. An interrogative sentence ends with a question mark, and a declarative sentence ends with a period. Number 1 says, it is almost fall break. Now, I'm pretty excited about fall break, and I see that exclamation point, so I know that's an exclamatory sentence. I play on a soccer team. It's just a statement. It's not exciting, it's not telling me to do anything, and it's not asking me a question. That's a declarative sentence. Number 3, I can't believe you have lived a decade. That exclamation point is a dead giveaway that that's an exclamatory sentence. Please walk quietly in the hallway. This word please is usually a clue because we're asking you to do something. We're asking nicely, but it's still making a command. So we can call that an imperative sentence. Did you put your backpack away? This question mark and this word did lets us know that's an interrogative sentence. Interrogative sentences usually start with words who, what, when, where, why, how, did. Those are usually our question words, and they end with a question mark. Put your reading book away. Now, I made a mistake and probably should have ended that with a period. Sometimes if your teacher is really angry, she might say, put your reading book away, and then it would be exclamatory. But usually it would end with a period, and we would call it a declarative sentence. The next section has correct the following sentences. Each sentence is missing a capital letter. So an easy 5 points on the test is just to go through and give each one of them a capital letter because every sentence needs to start with a capital letter. Who is your favorite author? I recognize that question word, and this needs to end with a question mark. We will go to lunch at 1:05. That's just a statement. It's not exciting, it's not a question, and it's not telling me to do something. We have 2 hours of homework tonight. I'm pretty sure if I assigned 2 hours of homework tonight, most of you would say that with a little bit of feeling. We have 2 hours of homework tonight? That one is an exclamation point. Have you ever seen a rainbow? The word have is a question word. We need to put a question mark. Line up for recess. When our sentences start with a verb or the word please, they are always going to be imperative. That should end with a period. Now, I know that you and I might view things a little differently, and maybe when I say line up for recess, that to you is a very exciting sentence. So I wouldn't count it wrong if you put an exclamation point there. Let's turn it over and look at the back side. On the back side, you need to write the correct type of sentence on the line below. When Miss Cantleberry or I grade it, we'll be looking for 3 things. Number 1, did you write an exciting sentence? Number 2, did it start with a capital letter? And number 3, did it end with the correct punctuation mark? These have to be divided by 2 because it's buy one, get one half off.
So all those have to be divided.
These 3. These are your least 3 expensive, so use your calculator. Sorry about that.
We don't have a calculator.
I have them in my room. Okay, so the first one is exclamatory. In class, I let you guys tell me your sentences, and the first one was, wow, there's a big robot in New York City. So we talked about an interjection. An interjection is a single word that ends with an exclamation point. It's not a sentence, but it sometimes comes before an exciting sentence. So wow, and then we need to remember that we have to uppercase this T if we write this sentence this way. There is a big robot in New York City. And it has to have an exclamation point. Now, you may have done a different sentence that doesn't include an interjection. You might say, that is the biggest milkshake I've ever seen. And then you would include your exclamation point. Just remember, if you choose to use an interjection, you still have to have a capital letter and an exclamation point for the sentence following the interjection. The interrogative sentence given in class today was, have you ever seen a ghost? It needs to end in a question mark and start with a capital letter. Remember, our declarative sentences are statements. I play volleyball. Don't forget the capital letter. Don't forget the period. And finally, our imperative sentence. It's a command. You could start it with the word please, or you could start it with a verb. We like to be friendly and nice, so let's go with please put your dog in a crate. And it needs to end with a period. So in review, on the quiz, you will need to identify 6 different sentences telling me what kind of sentence they are. We can look at the end mark, we can look at what kind of word it starts with, and we can just review that declarative is a statement, interrogative is a question, imperative is a command, and exclamatory is exciting. You'll need to correct 5 sentences. So you need to remember to uppercase the first letter and add the correct punctuation at the end. And then finally, you'll need to write an example of each kind of sentence. The next page has a Brain Pop review assignment on the 4 kinds of sentences. I am not taking a grade on it, but if you complete it, you might find it helpful.